Welcome back to Henry's Garage. In this episode we start working on the parcel shelf, and you can just see a bit of it there, and installing trim. Good episode, enjoy, and do come back next time. Oh, in fact, before you continue, for those of you that liked and wrote comments and everything from my last video, thank you very much. Really helps, and it always does help. So any comments, lots of likes, really makes me motivate me to keep going. So thank you very much, and thanks for lots of good advice as well. Till next time, enjoy the episode. I have been digging through my stores, trying to work out what bits of vinyl, upholstery, etc. that I have for the internal bit of the car. So, if we start at the front, I have the two visors and the bit that covers the top of the windscreen. So, and I also have a mirror somewhere, I just haven't found it yet. So there might be other bits somewhere which I haven't found yet. So the brown, beige, whatever colour that is, goes up here. All right, and that one's a bit ripped, so I will make one out of vinyl, I hope. And then the two, I've got to decide what I'm going to do with the visors, because I'm not sure if I really like that. I mean, if I'm going to do them, I'm going to have to change the colour. I found one of these in black. I haven't found one for the other side at this stage. It might be around, but I don't know yet. So in terms of this, I'm pretty sure there should be vinyl back behind here as well, not just that bit of plastic. So I'm going to need to look at and when I have been looking in the Rimmer manual and I haven't found it yet. Okay, I've then got two door cards in various states. I don't know that I have another handle for this one, so I've got a handle for that one, but I don't think I have one for this one. I believe these two bits are for the boot, and so I'm ignoring them, they're going to get binned. Obviously, I have a piece for the gear shift, so I can use that as a template. I can't work out what those are for at this stage. I cannot work out where that bit of carpeting is meant to go, so I can't use it as a template. I do have two covers for the soft top for when it's down, and up there, although you can just see the end of it, I have a soft top. You can see a bit of the frame and a bit of the end. So we've got that, and it's not in bad condition. It might need cleaning though after a few years up there. Okay, and then for the car, well, I've got this piece still, and so I'm going to use that one as is. And I've got this, which is quite badly cracked and damaged. And then I have, which I haven't decided if I'm going to just use that or if I'm going to cut a piece of plywood out to go there. And then I've got this bit of vinyl, which has the poppers on it. So that goes down here with the poppers along here. Okay. And so I think I'm going to try cleaning this up and seeing what it looks like. Right, and then the only bit where I seem to have complete bit is I've got two side bits, one for here, one for there, and then a piece along the back here to cover this off, which also has some sort of, I don't know what this board is, but it's very thin stuff with a bit of carpeting over it, and those go in there. So what am I thinking? Well, I guess ideally, I was thinking about just cutting carpet to size, gluing it in. That would either need edging, so a bit of vinyl along the edge there to make it look finished, or and then if it's glued in place, the problem is that I then can't get inside these cavities to do things if I need to. The alternative is that I find something thinner than this and flexible, and I cut bits out of that and then carpet over the top. And I clearly don't have any carpet for inside the car, so I have been looking, and there's no way I'm spending this kind of cash, but I have been looking at what the shapes look like. In terms of carpeting, I have this which we took out of the house at some point and stored up for me to do this. I also have a slightly different colour, but not as much, I don't think, for which was the new carpet that went in instead. I think, I'm not quite sure. And then I've still got a bit of vinyl left over from when I was trying to do the chairs. Now, so, and I've also got, if you remember, I struggled sewing this carpet when I was doing the boot. And I was told I needed a walking something or other on my sewing machine, which I have now got there. And I had a little practice with it. And although I can go along one way quite well, when I come and do the back, it ends up going across here. So what I'm going to try doing is, when the bits that I want to edge, I'm going to sew across the one side and then going to glue them on the back and hope that that will hold. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but I've decided that long pit fits in there. So with that in mind, I'm going to go and use that as a template, and I'm going to go and cut it, and I'm going to flip it over and cut it again, and so I should have both sides. So there's the template. These are the two cuttings that I did. So we'll just gently put in and see what they look like. Okay, so it's just laid there at the moment. And similarly here, you can see. So this carpet is clearly much thicker than what I was in there. And I think what I might need to do is, along here, I might need to sew in some vinyl. I didn't really want to, but the plan is, mind you, if I take this off, yeah, no, I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is we're going to glue it in place. We're going to take the seal off. We're going to glue it in place and have a look at that. Okay, before I glue it in place, when I took this apart, there was some tape in here, along here, which at the time I thought was weird, but I think it was over the holes in order to stop water ingress. So I'm going to put some of this over it, which hopefully will be okay, and then do the gluing. So my first impression of that is that it will look okay. That's glued in. Along here, you know, it's a shame I don't have it coming out a bit more, because that way I could have a bit more of an overlap, which is really what I want. But yeah, should look okay. So hopefully I'm going to have enough material. Now that was the easiest bit because I have a bit of a template for it. For the remainder I don't, apart from the back shelf. So we're going to have to take the chair out, try to make a template up out of some of that paper, which obviously I'll want to lap over and lap over. But if I do this side, then I should have one for the other side as well. And I'll go from there. Okay, so I've got myself some 3mm hardboard, which is flexible, as you can see. I think that might actually be a bit thicker than this stuff here, but that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to start by doing the 3 pieces at the back. So I'll cut templates for them in the wood and in the carpet. I'll put it all together and we'll have a look at it once it's all glued together and back on. So here are the first 2 parts. That's one and there's one there. You can see it's just glued on and it does fit in. Okay, and they fit in like that. So I've got it lined up over here along that side. And then I'm having to hold it in place. Now I don't have any self-tapping screws long enough. I've got 16mm. I probably need 25mm. Previously it didn't come quite this far, but that's okay. It's in here. That's okay. We will just adjust the other one accordingly. Well, that was stupid. I went and bought self-drilling screws. Didn't think about it. These are roof screws. They won't go into the metal. I just tried and proved it to myself. Oh well. They're also not long enough. I need longer than 25mm, which surprises me. But they're just coming through the carpet, so. Okay, that one's fixed in place. I just drilled holes and then used these screws. So I think that's going to come out looking okay. Right, I'm just going to, with this piece, I'm going to go through my process so you can see how I'm doing it. So I start with the original template and I mark it out on my hardboard. Now, this I know will be too big, but I'll make it at this size and then trim it down. I know this is going to be too big because my other ones actually this used to go over the metal bit, and my other ones are coming all the way up to that. So this is really going to have to be shortened. But for right now, I'm going to start with it like that and cut that, and then once I've done that, and I'll cut inside the lines, but once I've done that, I'll do a test fit, and you can see. Now, if I look at the other side, this one's the first one I cut out. I trimmed it down to size and then redrew it, and so you can see I'm a good centimetre in the whole way around. Oh, so maybe I'll just do that. We'll see. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it to this and then work from there. Okay, so it's up against the side here. So it needs to be folded in like that. But it's also got to slip down over here on both sides. So I've marked where that is. I'm going to go and cut that next. So that's now over both bits there, the edges. Okay, and so I've now marked a line for cutting off the top. I want this to be probably 1/2 centimetre, I guess, maybe, yeah, about 1/2 centimetre below here, because I'm going to be folding carpet over top and bottom, and so I need the space to do that. I'm going to take just a little bit more off here and there, and then I'm going to go through, and I won't film that, and then we're going to go through and cut it. Alright, here I am inside. This is the carpet. So we're just going to cut this to size, or thereabouts. Might go on like that. So let's go glue it. Right, next thing we're going to do is glue it and cut it to size. After I've sprayed on the glue, I'll leave it a few minutes to let it come tacky before I stick it and cut it. So yeah. So we've got our template now, or our piece, and hopefully that will go over here. And over here. Okay, so it just needs to be fitted in place now. Okay. Okay, so that's in. Now clearly, prior to putting this in, I should have put these on, because there's one screw that's underneath there. So I shall take this off again. I'll put those on and then come back. Okay, so I'm going to start by trying to clean this. Just a bit of water and soap, and if that works, I'll then look at trying to replace this with something on the back. I'm going to have to go and have a look, see what I can find for this. Okay. Okay, well, to be honest, that's come out better than I thought it would. Now, what it's like once it's dried, it might be pretty mucky still, but a couple of washes and that might come a bit cleaner. So, with that in mind, I need to do something about how bad this is. So I'm going to pop down to, I don't know, Wikis or B&Q and see what's available as a very thin backing material. Okay, I fitted this here just temporarily so I can see how it goes. So clearly it comes well above here. Okay, it doesn't sit just even with it, it comes right up. I worked that out because there's the hole here and there was a hole in the vinyl here. I can feel a hole here, so this must be for the seat belt. From here, the seat belt comes in down, where is it? There. Okay, so we can see this is connected and it needs to obviously be above it. So that will go there. So I need to do that on both sides. And then there are also some holes here, which clearly is because this actually goes down behind the this glove box. So, but this is in terrible condition behind. I'm worried about being able to make something right, especially with the fold. Or maybe the fold wasn't there originally, maybe that's just time. I've taken this off again. Right, so I've got a good piece of vinyl. The felt's not bad. It's a bit destroyed over on this side and a bit hard, but it's not bad. And then the cardboard or hardboard is dreadful. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the felt as a template for the hardboard, except for here where there's clearly a circle cut out, which I presume what must be for the seatbelt and the base of the seatbelt. So I'm going to make something that fits the felt. So I'm going to use the felt as the template and then cut out those holes. And prior to doing that, I'm just going to mark along here so that I know where I need to glue the felt back onto, because clearly I'm going to have to take it off. Now that means I'm going to have to drill out the rivets here. So that's the plan. So I've started by moving these tabs at the back, which were holding on the rivets for the poppers. I've removed those. And then I've also marked along here how high up the foam comes. And I've given myself 3 markers so I can line it up in roughly the same place. I'll now remove the rest of the wood and see how easily the foam will come off. It might require a little bit of heat, I'm guessing, just to loosen up the glue, so that's what I'll try. Okay, those 2 pieces came apart quite easily. This bit was already damaged, and then I had a bit of trouble getting this to come apart, but we managed to keep it together mostly. So lay that on there now and get a framework. Here we are, having done a outline, and obviously I'll cut inside this line. Just here, I haven't done it yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over like that, so that I have my good corner there. So something like this. They're obviously not quite symmetrical. I think we'll go with the centre in the middle. Yeah, we'll get it centred there. Right, that's interesting. So they're not quite the same. But we will draw along here now. Where are we? Yeah, we'll draw along here and then cut it out. All right, so we have a pretty good fit there. Yeah, nothing else to say. Pretty good fit there. So I need to do these circles here, which go over where the seat belt goes. So here and here. So I'll mark those out and cut them next. It looks rather like I should have used the car as the template, because the seat belts are there. So we will adjust and go on. Okay, I was using M8s to fix these on with a nut behind, but when I have this in place I won't be able to get behind, so I've installed some M6 riv nuts and we'll use those. Right, I'm just gluing on the vinyl. It is quite old and dry, and it's where it had rolled backwards around the edges, it's fighting with sticking down. So I got some weight on there to see if that will do it. Okay, so I was rushing and I didn't have a small enough rivet, and so I went with slightly bigger ones, which reach all the way through, as you can see, don't quite fit inside. And so I had two snap like that. Well, I thought I might be able to deal with those if I pop something on over. And then I had one snap and without the other side, and I've been trying to drill that out. I made a bloody mess of it, as you can see. So I'm going to stop mucking around and rushing. I'm going to take a few minutes break, and I'm going to go along and buy some rivets of this diameter but this length. And I'm going to take those along with me so I can get the right thing. Right, so I have been out and got myself some, these are 3.2 by 10s, which should just about be long enough. 3.2 by 12 would be better, but they didn't have any. I have managed to fix the one that you saw before. I got it out. I have one good one. And then with the ones that were too big, I've managed to wreck them. Particularly this one. Now I have some others, but they're very, very minor. I mean, I think these must be imperial sizes. And the ones I have over there, metric, because the clips don't quite fit. They look like they will and then they don't. So I'm going to think, oh, and then I drilled these holes out when I was going to use the slightly bigger ones, and now they're too big for the 3.2s, and so I need to do something about that as well. Okay, there they are on. This one I had to replace with a different one, so hopefully the popper will fit. You can see I just did new ones at the back, which was actually so simple. Why I was faffing about the others, I don't know. So let's see what it looks like inside. There we go, so that's fixed in place. Not looking too bad. So, good. So now we're going to try something across the middle. Right, I don't have a template for the top here, and I don't know what it's meant to be like. So what I'm thinking, I could do one of two things. I could use this as a template with a bit of extra material. So obviously I don't want wood here or hardboard, but if I have material going over there, that's not so bad. And I could create a template for down here for a piece of hardboard, which we could then glue carpet to. And if I did the same on the other side, I could actually then cut a piece of carpet that comes all the way down here, does this bit, goes, I presume, under here in the end. Okay, has the bit of hardwood here. Of course, if you then had to take it out, it could be a right pain if you wanted to get at your struts, because you'd then have to take the whole lot out. And so with that in mind, I might be better off just doing a central piece. I don't know. Right, so I've got a template cut out for the middle, and I've done a template in paper for the sides. And this, remember, folds over slightly, so I suspect it's meant to actually go, thinking about it, underneath here, even if not fixed down by it, just held under by it. Let's undo this side and look at that. So the way that this now fits around here, I think that's almost certainly how it's meant to go. It would explain why we had the bend in it. Unfortunately, these screws, this one and this one, are now no longer hitting here, these. So I'm going to have to re-drill those just a little bit further up. Right, so I cut a bit of carpet that was going to go in my plan to the back here, and I'll cut it in to the edge like that. But I didn't come far. First of all, I'd have to cut all this off, but I also didn't come wide enough. I need an extra 2 centimetres on each side, which is a bit irritating. Still, I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to glue it on. We're going to glue it on. Maybe get this just overlapping a little bit there. We'll then come and start trimming off. Okay, well, in that image it doesn't look too bad. I should have stopped earlier, so I decided to cut these bits off. And then I didn't leave them long enough, so I will make a template for in here on both sides, which will squeeze down and hopefully hold this down in place, is the idea. And I'll do the same on the other side, and it'll just slip underneath. So I don't know, I can't decide if that is meant to go under the seatbelt or not, but I'm not going to, because it won't on the other side. It's just not quite long enough, so I'm just going to leave them like that. But I think, you know, we're 99% of the way to saying parcel shelf done. So that's not too bad. I just got to work out, for example, what do I do in here? I don't know. Anyway, we will work onto that next time. Okay, that's done. So there's a little bit of parcel shelf still to do, but we'll leave that for another time. I think I've got probably 40 minutes of video here, so I think that's just too long anyway. So we'll go with that. You know, back of the interior trim done. and we will move forward from there. Thanks for watching. Come back to the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, enjoy, like, share, whatever else. And have a great weekend. Lovely warm weather at the moment, and I'm just loving it. So get out there and enjoy it in your cars. Ta for now. Just tidying up, haven't finished the video, and I realised this is the parcel shelf, the old one. You can see how the cutout is there, and it's actually made so. And these are for the for the seat belts, and it actually goes through the wood, whereas my version doesn't. But it's actually made to go in here, like that. So maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll take it out and fold it around and get it in there. We'll see. Anyway, so good. So I did go with roughly what it was meant to be. Excellent.